Hi everybody, Steph here again, and I'm going to do another one of my pen reviews on a lovely pen of mine. This is from my own collection, and what we have here is the Onoto the pen in the original box. Let's just briefly show you the box here. A little bit on the tatty side, but it has helped to protect the pen. So let's show you the pen inside. There we have it. Let's take the box away for a moment, and what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a beautiful Onoto the pen Series 3000 piston filler. A beautiful pen made of hard rubber. The pen was made, I believe approximately, it's a bit debatable, but I make it to be made in the region between 1916 1920, in that sort of region. The reason I say that, it will become apparent in a moment with regards to inside the pen. This particular one, the 3000 series and the 2000, were made in different models, if you like. This one, as I say, is in black chased hard rubber. They also made them with with cap bands, silver and gold cap bands on the cap there. They also produced the pens in a silver overlay, and I believe they also produced it in numerous styles with gold overlay. They actually had the barrel only was sometimes gold, and the cap was just standard rubber. They also produced it with just a standard gold cap, and the top of the range they produced it in gold, a gold barrel, a gold cap, a gold section inside. So the whole top of the range, the whole pen, if you like, was gold. And if you've got one, then you're extremely lucky, because they're actually a beautiful pen. As I say, this particular one is a black hard rubber. What it has on this one is two solid gold 18 karat gold bands, and what we're going to have to do again, we're not having much luck with these close-up shots, I'm afraid, but let's try and find, I think there it is. I don't know if we can actually see it. The gold band is actually marked 18 karat, and if we can maybe try and show you on the bottom there, if we can find it, I think there it is. Let's try and show you that a bit close up. I don't know if you people can actually see that. Hopefully you can. I'm giving it a little twirl. Hopefully you can see that, but as I say, the pen comes with two 18 karat gold bands. The size of the pen, this particular one, from the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel, is approximately 147 millimeters. So that's 147 millimeters capped. The diameter of the barrel is approximately 10 millimeters, and this particular pen is, well, I don't like using the word, but in my honest opinion, it's absolutely in mint condition. Let's just show you the barrel imprint, which is lovely, crisp and clear, and hopefully you can see that. The barrel imprint actually reads Onoto the pen, Rue London. So nice and clear and crisp. And while I'm actually showing you the pen, hopefully you can actually see that the barleycorn pattern of the chasing is also beautifully, well, lovely and crisp again. Okay, this pen was actually made well, it's a little bit debatable, but I believe it was made between, I don't know, maybe 1916, 1920, in that region, because this particular one, as you'll see in a moment, just simply has the underfeed underneath the nib, and they actually introduced the underfeed approximately 1916. So I'm dating this pen in that particular reason, so it is a bit debatable. If you disagree or whatever, then let me know. At the time, the pen, De La Rue had a superb reputation worldwide regarding the design of the pens and the construction. They are absolutely superb. I absolutely love them. As I say, this is actually one of my favourites. So let's actually show you inside the pen. Just instantly, before I show you, this particular pen at the time, they called it a safety pen. The cap is actually, it doesn't screw on. It's held on by friction, so it's what they term as a slip cap. Okay, so the cap, if you like, simply slips onto the feed there. Okay, so this is what we term as a slip cap. Now, if we show you the nib and the feed, okay, so let's try and show you the different angles. Okay, what you'll notice at the top here, this particular pen on the nib, again, let's try and show you a close-up, give you different angles. The nib actually on this particular one reads De La Rue Onoto London. Okay, there's no number on this particular nib as well. Some of them had the number, I think it was a number 3 at the time, but it's not actually numbered, this particular nib. It just simply says De La Rue Onoto and London. The reason I'm dating the pen to this particular era is that what you'll see there is on this particular pen it has just the simple underfeed. Now in I think it was in the region of 1905, Onoto, when they launched the pen, they launched it with an under and an overfeed, which had a plastic overfeed on top of the nib. So this one doesn't have it, and as I say, Onoto introduced this underfeed in the region of 1916. So again, that's where I'm dating this pen. Okay, so there we have it. Hopefully you can see that on the nib. As I say, this particular one is a Piston Fill fountain pen, and what we mean by that is that we simply unscrew the bottom here, okay, and simply we pull out the piston. Okay, and then how we actually fill the pen is that we depress, and I don't know if you can actually hear that, there's a nice satisfying pop at the end. How the piston fill, how does it work, some people may ask. Some people are under the impression that it actually fills on the when you actually pull the piston out. I'm afraid it doesn't. How it actually works is that it actually works on the downward stroke, and what actually happens is that there's a rubber cup washer inside, and as you push the knob down, the washer goes to the top here. There's a slight recess in the barrel in here. In fact, what I'll actually do, or what I've actually done for you lucky people, I've made a little diagram. Hopefully you can see that. So what actually happens is the piston normally sits flush inside the barrel. Once you actually push the piston down, it comes into this particular recess here. Okay, actually on the downward stroke, it obviously creates the vacuum, and then once it hits this particular recess here, it subsequently releases the vacuum, and in turn that will actually suck up the ink. Okay, So there you have the cup washer. On the top there, what you'll notice is on this particular one they have a shut-off valve, which means that when you actually push the piston all the way home into the pen, this particular shut-off valve here with this cone on top, what it actually does, hopefully you can see that a little bit better, this cone actually sits flush inside another recess, if you like, within the feed. And what it actually does, once you screw the knob down tight, the cone sits flush in the recess here and actually shuts off the ink. Okay, so that is actually the shut-off valve and how it actually shuts off the ink feed. And I think that's why they termed it the safety pen, because in theory it shuts off any ink leaks or whatever. Okay, so I'll just leave that there for a couple of seconds. Hopefully you can actually see that. Okay, and hopefully I've explained that clearly. Okay, so back to the pen here. Again, the 3000, in fact, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do this for the writing people. What we're actually going to do, let's pop the pen down here, if you just bear with me a second. Because this is a slightly different pen, obviously people want to know how it fills, and no doubt the writing fans out there who want to know how it writes, etc. As I said before on all my reviews, unfortunately I'm not a writer, so you know, any sort of writing that I do, samples, are not going to be that good, but hopefully you can actually see the pen working. Just before I fill it, I'll just let you know that this pen came to me in, well, it's a little bit dirty on the outside, but what I've actually done, if I just move that away, I've actually replaced all the insides of the pen, i.e. I've actually replaced the rod here. There's also two cork washers in this particular area here. I've actually replaced them with brand new washers, and inside I've replaced the cup washer with a brand new cup washer and the hard back washer. Okay, so the whole of the pen inside has been restored and is in full working order. So let's try and show you that for you. So what we actually do is immerse it in the ink, and I'll try and be quiet and see if you can actually hear the lovely sound of it filling. So I'll just be quiet for a second and I'll depress, I'll actually depress the knob down now. Oh, there we go. So hopefully you could hear that lovely plopping sound. So we just give it a couple of seconds. We find a tissue just to give it a quick wipe, and then what we do, we come over and we bring you the pad. Okay, so here we have it. So this is a Onoto, the Onoto the pen, full working order. Again, for you writing fans, this nib is lovely and flexible, so let's try and show you the flex of the pen. Okay, and I think we do these number 8s or whatever however they do this, these professionals. Okay, so I don't know if you can actually see that. Actually, what I've actually done, one thing I've not actually mentioned to you, I've not actually screwed the knob back home. Now the safety system here, what it actually does is when you actually fill the pen on the downward stroke, you will tighten the end knob here as tight as it'll go by hand, and then what you actually do, you simply just give it a half turn, and that will actually release the safety valve and allow you to, well, to have an ink flow, if you like. I've actually just, the reason I've just done that, I've noticed that when I've written these particular symbols here, there's quite a lot of ink coming out, so obviously I just noticed that I didn't tighten the knob all the way home. There we go, that's better. So as you can see on the downward stroke, nice and thick, on the cross stroke there. So any of you writing fans, you don't have to ask me. There you have it. A lovely, oops, excuse me, a lovely flexible nib. So the pen writes, it's in perfect working order, has a lovely flexible nib. Another thing to mention, as I've just put the cap back on, the problems with the older pens with the slip caps is that over the years they did actually, because they wore, they actually became very, very loose. This one is nice and tight. Also, they did actually have a tendency to crack here at the lip because people put them on too tight. So they did have a tendency to have cracks at the lip of the caps. This one obviously has got none. As I say, it's in beautiful, beautiful condition, excellent condition if I may say so myself. Depending who you're talking to, some people may say, well, some people may class it as a mint pen. Incidentally, I'm just actually sort of making this up as I go along. I've just filled this pen up, although it was actually made in the region of 1916, you know, 1920, in that era. I've just filled the pen up with ink, and that is actually the first time that this pen has actually had ink inside. It has never been ink. When I actually put the new washes inside and the new cork washers, etc., there was actually no sign at all of this pen actually ever being used. So the fact that I've just, well, filled it up with ink, this is the first time that this pen, well, in nearly 100 years, has had ink. Okay, so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, just while I'm here as well, what I'll do, try and show you the size of the pen. What I've got here is my other beautiful, beautiful Magna pen, and hopefully you can see the sizes there. Okay, the Magna being quite a large fat pen, and as I say, the 3000 is quite a slim model compared. Okay, obviously the Magna was launched, you know, quite a number of years after the 3000, but just to give you an indication, if you like, there's a comparison of the size of the two pens. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope I've covered most things. I'll just give it a few more little twirls for you so you can see all the different angles and how clean and how crisp the chase pattern is on it. It's absolutely beautiful, and just to feel the pens, they're absolutely totally different, absolutely beautiful. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my Onoto 3000 Piston Fill fountain pen, and I hope you've enjoyed looking at it as much as I enjoy owning it. And don't forget, take a look at all my other reviews that I've done on YouTube. Don't be shy, leave comments, don't forget to subscribe, and at the end of the day, enjoy them. That's what they're there for. So for now, bye!